What if I told you that right in your kitchen there is a poison you might be consuming every day thinking it is completely harmless? A substance that, drop by drop, day after day, is silently weakening two of the hardest working organs in your body. I have spent years in clinical practice witnessing the devastating consequences of this poison on my patients' kidneys, especially in older adults who come to see me when the damage, unfortunately, is already very severe. Today, I am going to break the silence, but I will not speak to you in medical jargon that no one understands. I am going to talk to you clearly, as if you were sitting right here in front of me. I am going to reveal the most toxic substance that is poisoning your kidneys without you even knowing it. And the most alarming part is, you very likely consumed it just this morning. Let us explore this together, understand its destructive power, and most importantly, learn how to protect ourselves before it is too late. Welcome. Thank you for taking a few minutes for the most precious thing we have, which is our health. As a kidney specialist, my mission is not only to treat diseases but also to prevent people from getting sick in the first place. And believe me, one of the hardest parts of my job is seeing wonderful, vibrant people suffer from kidney damage that could have been avoided. The problem with kidneys is that they work silently. They are the unsung heroes of the body. Imagine having the most advanced water filtration system in the world, running 24/7 without stopping. That is exactly what your kidneys are. They filter all your blood, removing toxins, waste, and excess fluid that you do not need. But that is not all. They also regulate blood pressure, help produce red blood cells so you do not become anemic, and keep your bones strong. They are the foundation for every other function to work. But what happens when this system begins to fail? No alarm bells go off. There is no sharp pain to warn you. Chronic kidney disease is a thief. It strikes silently over many years, and by the time obvious symptoms appear, like swollen ankles, constant fatigue, or muscle cramps, the damage can be very severe and, sometimes, irreversible. I have seen so many older adults come to my clinic in fear and confusion, facing dialysis or a kidney transplant. And the question always lingering in the air is, why did I not realize it? The answer is heartbreaking, because no one warned them clearly enough about the everyday toxins ruining their health. That is why I am here, because information is power. And today, I want to give you that power. We are going to expose some of these hidden enemies. I have listed them from the most common to what I consider the absolute worst. So stay tuned. What you are about to learn today could completely change your life. Before we begin the list, it is vital to understand why, over time, we become more vulnerable to these toxins. Aging simply changes the rules of the game. Just as our eyesight declines or our hair turns gray, our kidneys also age. Their filtering capacity, also known as the glomerular filtration rate, gradually decreases with each decade. Think of it like a car engine that has logged many miles. Of course it still runs, but it is no longer as powerful as when you first bought it. Now, imagine that instead of using good oil for that old engine, we fill it with poor quality fuel and make it climb steep hills every day. What do you think will happen? Exactly. It will break down much sooner. And that is precisely what many of us are doing to our kidneys without even realizing it. Over 50, 60, or 70 years, we have exposed our kidneys to things that seemed harmless when we were young, but now leave tiny scars, and those scars build up over time. It is this cumulative impact that can lead to kidney failure. On top of that, as we age, the risk of developing high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes also increases. And let me make this very clear. These two conditions are the leading causes of chronic kidney disease worldwide. They are like two hammers constantly pounding against the delicate structure of your kidneys. That is why anything that contributes to or worsens diabetes and high blood pressure is a direct attack on your kidney health. Today, we are going to learn about those attackers. To make it easier to understand, I have prepared a list of 4 of these toxins. We will start with one that you do not eat or drink, but is just as harmful. From there, we will work our way up to number 1, which is without a doubt the most dangerous, addictive, and common of them all. Let us begin. Poison number 4, a sedentary lifestyle. Stagnant water chokes your kidneys. The first poison on our list, number 4, might surprise you because it is not something you eat or drink. It is something you do not do. I am talking about a sedentary lifestyle, a lack of movement, spending hours upon hours sitting in one place, whether watching television or sitting in front of a screen. You might ask, what does sitting so much have to do with my kidneys? The answer is everything. Your kidneys rely on a strong, healthy blood flow to do their job. Imagine a powerful river. The water rushes along, sweeping away debris, always clean. Now, think of a stagnant puddle. Mud builds up, things decay, and the water becomes toxic. Your circulatory system is that river. When you move, when you walk, your heart beats stronger, and blood circulates powerfully throughout your body, reaching the millions of filters in your kidneys. This blood flow gives your kidneys the power to clean your body in the best way possible. But when you sit for hours, everything slows down. The blood flow becomes sluggish, just like the water in that puddle. And this is the perfect pathway to the absolute worst enemies of your kidneys: obesity, high blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes. When you do not move, your body does not use blood sugar properly, leading to insulin resistance and eventually diabetes. Being inactive also causes you to pack on pounds, forcing your heart to work harder and raising your blood pressure. Every extra pound is an added burden on your kidneys. The solution is movement. Do not panic. You do not need to become an Olympic athlete tomorrow. The solution is much simpler and well within everyone's reach. Try to limit prolonged sitting. If you spend a lot of time sitting, the simple first step is just to stand up. Set an alarm on your phone every hour to remind yourself to stand up. Get on your feet. Walk around the house, grab a glass of water, stretch. That simple act already helps reactivate your blood circulation. The next step is to incorporate a daily walk. No need for long hikes. Just start with a 10-minute walk around the block. Next week, make it 15 minutes. Consistency is what matters, not intensity. Walking is one of the best exercises. It is great for your heart, controls blood sugar, strengthens bones, and, of course, keeps healthy blood flowing to your kidneys. If you have mobility issues, there are wonderful exercises you can do right from a chair. Move your arms, lift your legs, roll your ankles. Everything counts. The motto is, any movement is better than no movement at all. Remember the image of the river. Every single step you take is a wave of clean water for your kidneys. Poison number 3. The deception of seemingly harmless painkillers. We come to our third poison. This one is hiding in plain sight, right inside almost every household medicine cabinet. It is that pill you mindlessly pop whenever you have a headache, back pain, or arthritis flare-up. I am talking about non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, or NSAIDs. Names like ibuprofen, naproxen, or diclofenac are familiar to all of us. Millions of people use them, believing that because they are sold over the counter, they must be harmless. And that is the great deception. While they are great for relieving pain, regular or chronic use, or taking them in high doses, can be deadly to your kidneys, especially as we get older. Listen, I will explain how it works in simple terms. For the kidneys to get good blood flow, there are substances called prostaglandins that help keep the small kidney arteries wide open. The problem is that NSAIDs work by blocking those very prostaglandins to reduce pain in your body. But they do not discriminate. They also block the prostaglandins that protect your kidneys. As a result, the kidney arteries constrict, shutting down, and the flow of blood and oxygen to the kidneys drops sharply. This is like stepping on a garden hose while trying to water your plants. The water cannot get through, and the plant begins to wither. The exact same thing happens to your kidneys, but the real danger is the silent damage. Taking these pills every day for chronic pain like arthritis is like stepping on that hose and cutting off the water day after day. Over time, the filters get damaged, scarred, and stop working. It is a slow process that shows no symptoms until it is too late. The solution is to respect both the pain and the pill. So, what should we do? Just suffer through the pain? Of course not. Quality of life comes first. The solution is to be smart and, above all, talk to a professional. First and foremost, never take NSAIDs on your own on a regular basis. If the pain lasts more than a few days, the solution is not to keep taking pills. It is to see a doctor to find out why. It is not about silencing the alarm, but finding the root cause. Second, be completely honest with your doctor and let them know everything you are taking, including vitamins, herbal supplements, and over-the-counter medications. Many cold or sleep medications have NSAIDs hidden in their ingredients. Third, there are alternatives for occasional pain. Acetaminophen is usually safer for the kidneys. Always make sure to take the correct dose, and look into drug-free options. Physical therapy, heating pads, ice packs, or stretching exercises can work wonders and reduce your reliance on painkillers. The golden rule is this: non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, or NSAIDs, are powerful medications. Using them once in a while is perfectly fine. But relying on them every single day without a doctor's supervision is like gambling with your kidneys. The second toxin is salt, the invisible enemy in your food. Now, we move on to this second toxin, which is probably the most underestimated one of all. It is present in kitchens all over the world. I am talking about salt, or more precisely, sodium. Many people tell me, I barely use the salt shaker. That is a huge misconception. The issue is not the salt you shake onto your plate, but the massive amount of sodium hidden in processed foods. It is estimated that more than 75% of the sodium we consume comes from processed foods, not the salt shaker. It is in bread, processed meats, cheese, canned soups, sauces, frozen meals, and pretty much everything packaged. Food manufacturers use it to extend shelf life and improve taste. It is an invisible troublemaker. But why is it so harmful? Your body actually needs a tiny amount of sodium to function, but when we consume too much, that delicate balance is completely disrupted. To dilute that excess sodium, your body retains fluid, making you feel thirstier and signaling your kidneys not to let go of a single drop of water. As a result, the volume of blood in your arteries increases, and the pressure inside them skyrockets. That is exactly what causes high blood pressure. High blood pressure is the second leading cause of kidney failure. The filters in your kidneys are made of tiny, fragile blood vessels that are incredibly easy to damage. Imagine trying to clean a delicate silk cloth with a powerful fire hose. You would tear it to pieces. That is exactly what high blood pressure does to your kidneys. day in and day out. It causes damage, leaves scars, and destroys them in a vicious cycle. The solution is to become a label detective. Protecting yourself from this toxin requires a shift in mindset. It is not about eating bland, tasteless food, but about eating smart. The most powerful tool you have is learning how to read food labels. Turn the package over and look for the word sodium. You will be surprised to see how much sodium is hidden in foods that do not even taste salty, like certain breakfast cereals or cookies. The general recommendation is to stay under 2,000 to 2,300 milligrams a day. If you already have high blood pressure, your target should be 1,500 milligrams. The second strategy is to cook more at home, giving you complete control. Third, let's rediscover new flavors. Nature has given us an abundance of herbs and spices that can transform any dish. Garlic, onions, black pepper, oregano, rosemary, turmeric, cumin, paprika, lemon, and vinegar are all wonderful for boosting flavor without adding salt. And one last tip. If you buy canned vegetables, rinse them thoroughly under the tap. With just that simple step, you can wash away a huge amount of added sodium. Within just a few weeks, your taste buds will reset, and you will start to appreciate the real flavor of food. It is truly amazing. Now, sugar and refined flour, the two most harmful substances, are a sweet but deadly combination. We are reaching the final part of our list. We have talked about a sedentary lifestyle, painkillers, and salt, which are all formidable enemies. But now, let me introduce what I consider to be the #1 toxin, the undisputed silent killer, the most addictive, the most widespread ingredient in our diets, and the one that causes the most devastating damage. This toxin is not some rare chemical. It is something we often associate with celebrations, rewards, and love. I am talking about sugar and its inseparable companion, refined flour. Yes, you heard that right. That sweet white powder, the desserts, the sodas, and even white bread, pasta, and cookies. In my experience, this duo is the primary reason why diabetes is the leading cause of kidney failure worldwide. Unfortunately, I see this exact same path play out over and over in my clinical practice, eventually leading patients to hemodialysis. Why am I so insistent? Because sugar and refined flours, which your body turns into sugar almost instantly, do not just attack alone. They launch a massive, coordinated assault from multiple fronts. The first front is the direct path to diabetes. The leading cause of kidney failure is diabetes, and consuming too much sugar and refined flour is the primary culprit behind type 2 diabetes. When you eat them, they trigger a massive spike of glucose in your blood. Your pancreas has to work overtime, pumping out insulin to manage those sugar levels. If this happens every single day, your cells eventually become resistant to insulin, and sugar builds up in your bloodstream. That is how type 2 diabetes begins. When your blood sugar stays chronically high, the damage to your kidneys is severe. Sugar literally caramelizes your kidney filters, causing them to stiffen and become ruined. This is known as diabetic nephropathy, which is the fastest route to dialysis. The second front of attack is high blood pressure. We used to think salt was the sole culprit, but today we know that sugar is just as bad, if not worse, for your blood pressure. A high sugar diet drives up blood pressure, so even if you watch your salt, sugar is still quietly attacking your kidneys. The third front is silent inflammation. Sugar is like fuel to a fire inside your body. It causes low-grade, chronic inflammation, damaging the inner lining of all your arteries, including the ones in your kidneys. The fourth front is obesity and fatty liver disease. Any excess sugar you do not burn off gets converted into fat. This fat builds up, causing obesity, which is another major risk factor for your kidneys, and it builds up in your liver, causing fatty liver disease, a condition that disrupts your entire metabolism and further harms your kidneys. As you can see, this is an all-out assault. That is why I call it the #1 toxin. The solution is to reclaim control. The good news is we can beat this enemy. The key is knowledge. First, understand that sugar goes by many different names. High fructose corn syrup, dextrose, sucrose, and maltose are all just clever disguises for the exact same poison. Second, eliminate the most obvious sources of sugar. Sugary drinks, sodas, commercial juices, and iced teas are all just liquid sugar. A single can contain more than 10 teaspoons of sugar. Replace them with plain water, sparkling mineral water with a splash of lemon, or herbal teas. This is probably the most effective change you can make. Third, be careful with low-fat products. They often remove the fat and add sugar to make up for the flavor. Always choose natural options. Opt for plain yogurt instead of fruit-flavored ones, and add your own fresh fruit. Fourth, swap out white flour for whole grains. Choose whole wheat bread, brown rice, and rolled oats. The fiber in these options slows down sugar absorption. And finally, prioritize whole foods. Fruits, vegetables, legumes, meat, fish, eggs, and nuts. When your diet is built around whole foods, sugar and refined flours almost magically disappear. Breaking your sugar habit is the single most powerful defense for your kidneys. We have covered a lot of ground today, unmasking the 4 silent toxins threatening your kidneys. Fourth, a sedentary lifestyle that slows down your circulation. Third, painkillers and non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, or NSAIDs, which can injure your kidneys. Second, hidden salt that drives up your blood pressure. And first, sugar and refined flour, which launch an all-out assault on your body. You might be feeling a bit overwhelmed right now, but my goal is not to scare you. My goal is to empower you. The truth, no matter how hard it is to hear, is the only thing that allows us to make better choices. Kidney disease does not have to be your destiny. Every single one of these toxins is within your control. You decide whether to get up from your chair. You decide whether to see your doctor. You decide whether to check those labels. You decide whether to choose plain water over soda. You do not have to change everything overnight. It is all about starting with one small step today and another one tomorrow. Every small adjustment is a victory. Every home-cooked meal and every walk you take is another brick in the wall protecting your kidneys. You have the power to rewrite your own health story. If this video helped you realize something new or made you think twice, I ask you to do one very important thing. Please share it. Share this information with your children, your spouse, and your friends. Life-saving information like this needs to be spread far and wide. And if you want to keep receiving clear, practical health advice, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Now, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below and let me know what surprised you the most out of everything we discussed. Is there anything you didn't know before that you plan to change from now on? I will be reading your comments so I can continue to help our community. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for making time for what matters most. Remember, your kidneys work tirelessly every single second. Honor that by making mindful decisions. Take care of your kidneys. Take care of your life. See you in the next video, and thank you